Welcome to the Nebraska Democratic Party 2016 Presidential Caucus Series. I'm Peg O'Day Lippert. Our guest is Brian Whitecalf, Chair of the LGBT Caucus. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you for having me today.
This specific purpose of this series of interviews is how the affiliated caucus organizations can be tools in implementing the inclusion plan for the Nebraska Democratic Presidential Caucus and Delegate Selection Plan. We are Big Tent Party, and we not only welcome but want participation from the wide spectrum of Nebraska Democrats. Before getting into those specifics, Brian, would you tell us about the LGBT caucus and how you came to be the chair?
Well, the LGBT caucus represents those Democrats in the state that are looking to advocate and support sexual orientation as a minority that needs to be represented in the state, and then also those individuals who identify with gender identity classifications. And so they've usually been underrepresented. And in most of my life growing up here in Nebraska, I hadn't been politically involved. But then in 2012 was my first convention, and that's when I got affiliated with the LGBT caucus and then started becoming more aware of the process. And then in 2014, got nominated to be the caucus chair, and then been representing the caucus since for about a year now. So.
Good for you. Would you also tell us, Brian, about the work of the LGBT caucus? What are your organizational goals?
Well, it's been our recent goal was to really support marriage equality, and unfortunately, our local governor does not, and he's blocked attempts to make it legal in this state. But thankfully, on the national level, we now have marriage equality. Moving forward from that, we need to give people a reassurance that we're going to protect their employment. Many people in the state are now getting married, and that's a crucial issue to making a life for yourself. And then for the LGBT caucus, now we need to work on making safe schools and identifying policies that are going to protect kids from bullying, protect transgender students, especially transgender athletes. And then also we need to really stand up for students who do not want to feel religious persecution from people across the state.
Thank you, Brian. So the federal ruling overruled the state, and so we ended up in a good position in Nebraska, at least on the marriage issue.
Equality issue.
Thank you. Now let's talk specifically about your plans to reach out to your members as well as other potential members to not only engage in the caucus process, but to stay engaged, and to get them to participate across the state in the county caucuses. Brian?
Well, I think a lot of people in the state, and even in my district, with the 3rd district, it's more rural. They're uninformed about maybe a candidate or who really is their elected official, and so we've sort of targeted organizing around sort of an issue or a topic.
Okay. So, but specifically about how to get that membership involved in the caucus. What kind of outreach? In addition to the this, for example, and I hope that you will send this on, share this with all your members, but anything specific you're doing?
Well, definitely we're going to areas where LGBT people normally meet on a regular basis.
Oh, good. Okay.
I've been pushing myself with voter registration.
Great.
And then sort of trying to find the people that are going to be more active in the community, who we haven't asked in the past, sort of outside of our pool. Mm-hmm. And I'm hopeful with the Latino community, because of course there has to be LGBT people as well.
In every segment of society.
And so when we reach out to them and when we are accommodating for language and Spanish and stuff like that, then no other group, I think, has really reached out to them in that way.
Good for you. So actually, you've started the conversation.
Oh, yes. Started
it
early on. And I think that we have, 3 great candidates for president, and it's, generating a lot of excitement and some first-time people who've never been involved.
Great.
And
That's what we want.
of course,
the inclusion,
yeah.
that's what this is all about.
And social media has really helped us out in meeting people that we'd never known before.
Great. There is a series of information, this being part of it, available. This series started with a kickoff by Vince Powers, and that's available on the website that I'll touch on later. And then there was quite an extensive interview with Charlene Ligon, who is the chair of the Nebraska Democratic Party Caucus, and a detailed interview with her. And then there is the NebraskaDemocrats.org as a website of the Nebraska Democratic Party. And the caucus has its own website, which is the Nebraska Caucus 2016.org. And there you will find, and you can share this with your membership, all the information that anyone would ever want in order to have a successful caucus. In addition, the latest handbook is now available online also. And this information will all be on the screen for our observers to take note that Charlene Ligon is the caucus chair, and she is available at 402-215-1571 and at charlene.ligon@nebraskademocrats.org. The state office person, Chauncey Brown, who is the data director for the Nebraska Democratic Party, is available at Chauncey, CHAUNCEY, at nebraskademocrats.org, and her number is 402-434-2180. I'm just wondering if there are any further questions or concerns that you have, Brian?
No, I think this has been a great process,
Great.
and our parties could be better and healthier after this caucus goes forward.
Thank you. And I want to thank you for your time, and best wishes to you and your members. And I hope you can reach out, involve a lot of new people, and keep them involved in the party, Brian.
Thank
and
you.
thank you.
Yeah.